Well, good morning, all. Well, Jeff and I have been hiking for 2 hours. I say morning, it's just before noon, and we've been hiking, I think since like 8 o'clock, 8:30, I don't know, long time. But we finally made it in. We're into a really remote area, and that's why I shooting on the GoPro. Now Jeff's downstream. I don't know if you can see him. He's that little speck way down there. Now he's already in the river looking for gold. So today's plan is we got some really interesting bedrock here we got to look at. Let me show you what I'm going to be working on. Now this section of creek, very narrow canyon, very remote, really difficult to get into because it is so steep. The walls are basically vertical. And you can see behind me, there's nothing but huge boulders. Now upstream, up here, the river makes a real sharp bend. So this wall over here, this wall here, this is the inside. This is where your biggest gold's gonna be. And then as you work your way out, going over this way, the gold is gonna be biggest over here, smallest over there. Now, I'm here for big gold. So I'm gonna work on the big gold side, which means I'm not gonna find a lot of pieces. Hopefully I'm gonna find more weight than if I went over to the other side where you're gonna get more pieces but smaller. Anyway, that's my theory. So right now I'm gonna switch GoPros, get the mask. Let's see if we can even find some crevices. The first crevice I decided to work ran with the flow, which is not ideal, but it was a nice sharp crevice. It looked like it would have a rough bottom, so I decided to go ahead and give it a go. Well, it didn't take long to discover that these crevices were packed pretty tight and I couldn't even move anything hardly. So I decided to get the hammer out and just start beating on the crevice until I got the top loose. And once you get the top broke loose, it makes it a lot easier to work the crevice. Now once I started digging down in the crevice, I noticed that we still had gravel packed on the bottom, which is good. And one small piece finally showed up. I grabbed that one with the snuffer bottle, and in the process I noticed there was a second one hidden down in there, so I grabbed it. Now I went ahead and finished working that crevice. Those two pieces, that's all I got out of that one. Now this next crevice, I had the same thing. I had to beat the rocks to get everything started. But once I started moving the gravel, up pops a really nice nugget. The only problem is, it was a beautiful nugget, but that was it. That's all I got out of that one. Now this next crevice it was a fairly large crevice, and I probably spent well over an hour on it. And deeper I went, the harder it got. And it finally got down to the point where there was nice iron showing up and there was lead showing up. I thought sure I was going to get some nice gold. But it got so deep that I had to get out the crevice suckers. The only way I could clean the bottom. And the only thing I got out of that crevice was lead. Lots and lots of lead. Now, the next crevice I worked went across the river, which was what you're looking for. Problem is, it wasn't a real large crevice, but I was surprised right off the bat, barely covered with a nice little nugget, and boy, that thing was stuck in there. I tried to pry that out. And so I ended up having to grab my tweezers to pull it out. And once I got it out of there, it turned out to be a nice little round chunky piece. Okay, well, I think we're calling it a day. Didn't get much footage because these crevices were so hard to open. I mean, you just beat on them and beat on them. And we spent most of the day just trying to get them open. Got a lot of lead. I got 2 pieces of gold. Jeff's got gold. I haven't seen his gold yet. But we got to pack up, get out of here, because we got about 5 minutes and we're going to be in the shade and it's going to get cold.
See that? That's all lead. That's his lead.
Lots of lead. Okay, well, I'm going to pack this thing up and we're going to start sniping our way out of here. We'll see you back at the house. Back at the house? You guessed it. It's the next day. Okay, well, I got that gold. Well, there was nothing to clean up, but gold sitting over there by the scale. So what do you say we jump over there, see how we did? First thing we want to do is measure our largest nugget. 5.12 grams. I think that thing pretty much saved the day. Okay, all total, we ended up with 6.21 grams. I almost forgot. Let's see how we did on the lead. $70.5 grams. Too bad that wasn't the gold. A little over 6 grams. I'm okay with that. As long as I'm staying ahead of my 2 gram right. Well, working that chunk of that river, that canyon is so narrow and the boulders are so big, those crevices they just get crushed. And it took forever to clean them. And, you know, it'd take an hour to clean 2 feet of crevice and there'd be nothing in it. And like I was saying at the beginning of the video, it's kind of feast or famine in there. You're not going to find much small stuff, but hopefully when you find something, it's nice. Okay, well, this time of year, high country is where I want to be because fall's here and we're going to get shut out of there first. So, thinking this weekend, Jeff and I are going to head up to the hydraulic pit, do a little exploring there. I want to do a little, I got a couple ideas I want to try out. So, that's the plan. Well, that's it for this video. So, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.